Hello all, Shadwell here, ready to talk about the next film in my collection, Kingdom of Shadows from 1998. It's the fifth and final film in the American Silent Horror Films collection, is directed by Brett Wood, and is narrated by Rod Steiger. As I said in the last review, you should not confuse this film with the other films in the American Silent Horror Films collection, as it isn't a silent film. In fact, think of it as a glorified feature-length special feature on its own dedicated disc, if that helps you. Kingdom of Shadows is a documentary on the rise of the horror film. However, where it deviates from the rest of the collection isn't just it being a documentary or not being a silent film, but it also concerns itself with the whole world and not just the rise of the American horror film. Although this is the first documentary I own that we've come across, you're not going to find a lot of documentaries in my collection that aren't tied to being special features with other films. One I can think of right off the bat is Full Tilt Boogie, which is the documentary about the making of the film From Dusk Till Dawn. There will be several of those, but not many others on other subjects that I can really think of right now. Back to Kingdom of Shadows. It tells the story of the beginnings of the horror film as narrated by Rod Steiger, who we will see again soon enough in just a few reviews when we get to the 1979 original version of the Amityville Horror. It does a convincingly good job of talking about the start and growth of the horror genre throughout the silent era of film and about half a decade beyond. The latest film they talked about, I believe, was 1932's Vampire, which we'll be talking about fully towards the end of our journey together. I think the most interesting part of this documentary is it talks about the different subgenres of horror that came almost in chronological order, starting with religious stuff in the beginning, the tumult between good and evil that sparked the interest in the horror film. Then we moved on to the horrors of religious figures like the Inquisition times, then religion gives way to science, then mad scientists, and from there it moves on to different subgenres, but you should watch this documentary yourself to get a real good idea of the transitions horror made in the first 30 or so years of film. It was a super interesting watch, and I was convinced enough by the telling of it to give this documentary a B+. Tomorrow we return to the 50 Decrepit Crypt of Nightmares to watch its 16th offering, Hip Hop Logos, which I have zero faith in after the last 50 Decrepit Crypt of Nightmares film. See y'all then.